I just filmed an entire video and realized I hadn't turned my camera the correct way. So, good morning, everyone. I am currently in my car driving to Columbia, Missouri for a follow-up with the neuro-ophthalmologist. I was not going to do today's appointment because I did not finish some tests and procedures with the regular neurologist, and this follow-up with the neuro-ophthalmologist was hand in hand with doing that other testing. But when I let their office know that I had not gotten that other testing done yet and wanted to know if I should reschedule, they told me to go ahead and just keep the appointment today, especially since I'm still having really bad eye pressure, and it feels like this eye keeps bulging anytime I do anything that is strenuous, and that includes talking. So, talking, especially talking animatedly or loud, makes me get really bad buzzy, like a buzzing in my head, and my eye feels really bulgy. What fun symptoms. So, why did I not do the testing with the regular neurologist? Let's see. I don't know if I ever updated you guys on that. So, months ago, I changed neurologists from Joplin area where I live, and up to the MU Health, Columbia, Missouri area, which is about 4 hours north of me. The reason why we switched up there was the neuro-ophthalmologist that I see, who specializes in a condition called IIH, which I am suspected to have. I have been diagnosed with having, but I have not had the final tests that definitively diagnoses it. So I was switched up to this neuro-ophthalmologist from my primary doctor to try and get answers on the excessive cerebral spinal fluid in my brain, or in my skull. And I've been seeing him for a year and a half, and last year, after I'd been seeing him for about 8 months, I think 6-8 months, he said he wanted me to see a new neurologist in Columbia so that they would all be working together, and I'd also be seeing these doctors that all specialize in this condition. So one of the joys of being able to go to a university hospital. So I had my initial appointment in December or January, I believe, with the new neurologist, and he ordered a bunch of tests, which I went and did. So it was like MRIs and mapping out, it was like a venogram of my brain, and checking all of the fluids and everything. But one thing they have not done yet is check the membrane. I guess there's a special MRI that you can do to check between the ear and the brain to see if there's a cerebral spinal fluid leak. And these other tests could show it, might not show it. That doesn't mean that it's not there, but in any case, we haven't done that test, and that is important, which I will tell you in a minute. So anyways, I went up, had these tests done, met with him, and during that time too, he put me on a medication called Nurtec and took me off of all of my other prescription migraine and pain medications. And told me not to take any over-the-counter medication, and to not drink caffeine if I could help it. I'm not completely off of the caffeine. I don't know if I ever will be completely off of the caffeine, but excessive caffeine can actually cause headaches. And the idea was to see, are these normal migraines? Are these migraines from IIH? You know, am I getting a correct diagnosis of IIH? Is there something else going on here? And he wanted me to do this spinal tap. The spinal tap would definitively tell us whether or not I have IIH. But to do the spinal tap, I have to drive 4 hours north, lay on my side, and then lay flat for 1 to 3 hours afterwards to try and avoid a spinal headache, and then drive 4 hours home. And because I don't lay flat, because the spinal fluid builds up in the back of my skull and causes like this pop rock, you know, sound and real discomfort, and I get fluid out of my ears. The thought of any part of doing this spinal tap test, plus it comes with risks. You could get these spinal headaches, in which case they do a blood patch and hopefully stop it. A certain percentage of people continue to have them. It comes with a risk of infections, and you know, anyways, all things we want to avoid. And so I haven't been able to go up and do the test yet because I don't lay flat, because I try and avoid, you know, all of that. And then I was having that abdominal pain and issue, and we were trying to resolve that, and I had a low grade fever there for a little bit, and they didn't want me to have any potential infections, not being on any antibiotics, no ear infections, nothing, when I go in to have the spinal tap, so everything is as optimum as possible, and I don't end up with any risk factors, or don't have, increased risk factors that are going to cause me to have any post-procedure issues. So, have not done that yet. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that. I think what we're going to have to do is figure out a budget and drive up the night before, stay at a hotel, do the procedure in the morning, stay at a hotel a second night, and then go home. And that way we're in the area in case I do get the spinal headaches and I have to go back in for a blood patch, so that I'm not trying to make these long drives, which give me headaches on top of it and add to my dizziness. So, excuse me, that was long-winded. So I don't have Lucy or my husband with me today. They are at home, and I'm doing this all on my own, which is always fun. I enjoy driving on my own. I generally do okay, but because I've been having these increased symptoms, and then trying to talk to the camera right now, it's just a little bit hard. It makes me feel a little bit discombobulated. And I'm nauseated. I'm nauseated from driving. And I'm only like 3 hours into the trip. It's a 4-hour trip. Anywho, that is the update on that, and I was all over the place, so hopefully I hit all the bullet points I wanted to hit on. No, I did not. So, in the middle of all of these early appointments with the neurologist, my pain management doctor, I had an appointment with her, and she said she wanted to send me to, this is interesting, send me to a pharmacist that will custom dose to me Narcan that I will microdose for chronic pain. I know. I know. How freaking weird. How freaking fucking weird. So, the pharmacist that's closest to us that does this is like an hour away in Kansas. And I am not doing the dosing yet. I haven't even gone and gotten the medication yet or done any of that because I'm in the middle of all this other shit. And then I have this abdominal stuff and I don't want to add on one more thing, and I need the approval of my neurologist to do it. But supposedly microdosing Narcan will diminish, if not completely halt, symptoms of the migraines, the IIH, the chronic pain that I get from oh my gosh, you know, there's so many different names for it. I'm just trying to think what. Initially I was diagnosed with post-COVID syndrome, long COVID, and then it went to where, you know, I've got these migraines and this fuzziness and this neurological stuff going on. And so then I was told that, you know, several different autoimmune disorders, and, you know, I've had doctors tell me in the past that I probably have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I am very hypermobile, not as much as I get older, but joint issues and stuff. So anyways, this is supposed to, I guess, help with all of those symptoms and this other condition which I've been diagnosed with, and I just cannot think of what it is. And they all overlap one another, and so I have no doubt that there's going to be some other syndrome that is going to come out, or we're going to discover that this is all some other form of Ehlers-Danlos with the IIH, the fibromyalgia, chronic pain, the hypermobility, why can I not think of the name of the other where I get dizzy? And even just doing that is making me dizzy. I put my hands above my head and I get lightheaded really easy. And some people might go, oh, well, Christina, that's normal. I have that. No, it's not normal. You're allowed to put your hands above your head and not get dizzy. And I had, you know, my previous neurologist said that it was because I was menopause, in menopause. Well, I wasn't in menopause at that time. I'm still not in menopause now. I'm just starting to have some symptoms of it. But no, it's not normal. It's not a normal thing. So if anyone ever says, you know, if you're putting your hands above your head when you're standing, that you get super lightheaded and your blood pressure crashes down, it's not normal. And there is a condition, I don't remember, it's just completely gone from my brain. Cannot remember the name of it. Yeah, gone from the brain, literally. So anyways, yeah, that's what's going on. So still no absolute, for sure, definitive answers. Lots of yes buts, but and I don't know again when we'll have a definitive answer, because I don't know for sure when I will go and have the spinal tap done, or when I will start the Narcan, if I even start it. But in the meantime, I'm taking Nurtec, not to be confused with Zyrtec. So Nurtec, N-U-R-T-E-C, and it is for people that have migraines. So I'll let you know what happens with the neuro-ophthalmologist, and wish me luck on all of this. And I'll probably do a Too Good To Go cookie box while I'm in the vicinity, because they've got several good places in Columbia that I can use the Too Good To Go app, which I love. I don't have like any of the places near me that do it. Pizza Ranch in Springfield does. There's a couple local businesses in Columbia. Certain Quick Trips. Quick Trip as a KWIK, not the QTs, which is also a Quick Trip. But I think the ones spelled with the KW are the ones that, or Holidays. I think they do Too Good To Go's, and Whole Foods. Whole Foods is wonderful. And then we have a grocery store up in this area that participates in it. And I go and get their bakery prepared food, or dairy is another one that they do, their dairy bags. And they also do fresh produce. And so the grocery store does them all separate. And they're usually like $4 to $7 a bag. And I can get literally almost a week's worth of groceries to go along with my pantry stuff from doing that. But I completely digress, because this was just supposed to be an update on my neurological stuff. But I just had to point that out, that those Too Good To Go boxes or bags are awesome. And if you're on a budget and you live someplace that has them, I've been using it for a year and a half, I think, somewhere in there, maybe even closer to 2 years. I don't know. I lose track of time. It's been a while, and I've used it all over, like all over the country when I've traveled, and I just love them. So, anyways, thank you all for listening to my ramblings. If you made it this far, please give me a like, subscribe, comment. I need to get my watch time hours. Come on, people. Be my friend. Be my friend and help me out here. I need a residual income. I'm drowning, and not being able to work sucks. And yeah. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you for listening to my ramblings. Please like, subscribe, hit that, all the buttons, and I will give y'all an update after I've seen the ophthalmologist, the neuro ophthalmologist. So take care. Bye.